Dun, dun, dun. Happy Thursday. We are here. Let's get ready for another great night, another good night of information. What's going on, big homie? I see you. Get this volume right. Let's give everybody a minute to get in here. And the queen is here, nice and early.
Hey, how are you?
Crowd goes wild. Jazz,
How
what's going on?
you doing? How's everything going?
Man, just pushing through, trying to make it happen.
I know that's all we can do, like every single day. How's everything going? How's business?
Well, business is good. I can't really complain. Well, I can't really tell up from down right now per se.
I know.
But I won't complain though. That I will say. I won't
Yeah, it's definitely one of those things that you never know what's going to happen, and also, I know you do a lot of buyer business like me, so buyer business has been difficult during this time because offers aren't getting accepted. So that's been definitely something that's like not anticipated because we used to have it our way. And we used to laugh at the listing agents, but now we need to get on that side. We need to get on that.
Nah, so like that's exactly like literally as I was getting ready to join on here, my client sent me a property like, yo, check it out. I'm like, it's already under contract. This is like the third house in a matter of 2 weeks.
Yeah,
We submitted 2 offers already.
That I've told people, if you see it, like, let's just go ahead and put an offer in before we even get out there, because it's
Okay.
just one of those things that, if you think you like it, neighborhood makes sense, let's go ahead and, we doing all types of escalation clauses and stuff like that. It's a crazy time.
Right. Well, the escalation clauses are like, it's almost a joke because you just don't know what the other side is doing. And I don't think the selling agents are gassing it anymore. Like, I know they're getting 40, 30 grand over asking price.
It's crazy. It's crazy. I don't know that we're going to see a slowdown for a while either.
Well, that is the thing. That's why I said, like, I won't complain because I'd rather have this obstacle than what it was looking like when COVID first hit. And it was like, is Amazon hiring?
We're like, hold up. Stop. What's going on? It's like everybody was twiddling their thumbs.
Right.
And then, investors were definitely still moving and shaking, and folks were doing that. But when it first hit, I was looking around like, glad that I didn't stop investing and stop my other businesses.
Right. Well, that's right, and that's the thing. It's like, yo, all my tenants, like, yo, we good, right? We all on the same page, like we in this together. Kind of thing.
I'm checking in my tenants, like, hey, how's everything? And
right.
being super hospitable. So it's just one of those things. It's definitely, as business owners, we have to be able to pivot in this moment, because we don't know. We still don't know.
Right. Well, we kind of jumped right in, so I want to give.
I know, right? We just started talking. Hold on, I'm gonna prop this up a little bit.
Okay.
I just want to prop this up. All right. So go ahead. So what's going on?
So for those that are just joining us, welcome. We have Jasmine Williams, Green Real Estate Mom. She is here joining us tonight to discuss her business, her challenges, her endeavors. So enough of my talking, but go ahead, Jasmine, introduce yourself for the people who may not know.
I'm just a realtor. I
a realtor.
I have pivoted a lot of business though, and become a really, I'm a part of the top 500 in the city. So we have we have successfully done that. That's been something that I'm proud of, because I had really humble beginnings, single mom, from the hood, like you can start naming it. It's just one of those things, and to be able to have a business that is recognized with some of the top in the city is something that I'm definitely proud of.
Well, definitely salute to you. I know
Yeah,
I've been following your journey. We've had some
yeah, we
interactions together,
friends.
all pleasant.
Who,
Yes.
who introduced us?
Malik, I
Yeah,
think Malik,
Malik,
Malik, and what's the other partner y'all had when y'all was at KW? What's his
Adam.
name? Adam. Right,
I feel
yeah.
like I knew you before that. I feel like we connected, but maybe we just connected over social media. So maybe that's
Possibly.
what. But yeah, we have a
Yeah,
lot of
but
mutual friends.
exactly.
Yeah.
But speaking of which, in regards to, so you tried to play the humble part of the I'm just a realtor. No, you're not just a realtor, like you said.
No,
You're an independent.
I'm very extremely humble.
Well, definitely that's the beauty of it. So definitely be humble. But I'm just saying, now this the time we. So if you won't toot it, I'll toot it. So top 500 in a city in a time where it's unpredictable. Everything's you can't tell up from down. Let alone, like you said, look, I'm a single mom and I'm doing this, and I didn't have nobody like really guiding me through this. Like, so can you like just touch on like how your vision evolved and like how you like made
Oh,
it through some of the challenges that some people may not know about?
oh. How long we got?
Hey, we here. I got my water here.
But no, so I started, I've been licensed for 12 years. So I
Okay.
started part-time at Coldwell Banker. Coldwell Banker was my first um, brokerage. And then I went on to, uh, I think it was Remix and then Realty Mark. So
Okay.
I've experienced a lot of the different brokerages in the city. I made KW my home because I wanted, after kind of being bounced around for a while, just being able to establish myself as a team, and starting a team to really be able to dig down and do a business. A lot of realtors have, are agents, but not necessarily have a business. So there's a difference, because once you have a business, the decisions are a lot different. So really in the early parts of forming that this team and the business structure, it wasn't a whole lot of guidance. There's not a whole lot of books on that. There's not a whole lot of people. But KW did help me a lot. So I've been with KW, I guess, for the last 4 years. And,
Okay.
I have a coach that really helps me through, and really, that structure. I have a team of people behind me. I have an attorney. I have an accountant. I have, like I said, a coach. I have a few different coaches in different parts of my business, and then a lot of mentorship. So that was important to develop when I really buckled down and just developed a business and not just me selling houses. So now
Okay.
I could, before, if I stopped working or if I stopped generating business,
The
then
business stop.
the business stops. Right now, the business generates on its own. So a lot of the workings and things like that, we get leads. Right now, we're working with anywhere between, I think we have maybe 25 buyers that we're working with.
Mm.
So anywhere between 25 to 30 buyers is what the team is working with. And so I don't even show houses anymore, which is, a thing.
That's the
Um,
way.
yeah, I have a showing assistant. I have a few showing assistants that help me out, that are able to run around, so that I am doing a lot more on the business development side on what I'm good at.
Right.
My one of my showing assistants, she's been with me. Um, my first showing assistant, my buyer agent, and my transaction coordinator, she's been with me for years. Then
Okay.
my showing assistant, one of them has been with me for going on 2 years, and she really thrives outside. So she really
Okay.
thrives at interaction, and not that I can't do it. Obviously, I can, but my strong suit is doing things like this. Really developing some marketing. Um, we develop probably 80% of our business off of social media.
Okay.
We don't do any Facebook ads. We don't do any ads or anything like that. All of it is truly truly, truly just me getting information out to the masses and helping my people. So all of that business is really just generated off of me coming on here and sharing what I know.
Right.
It's not, you know what I mean? It's really organic. And so
Adding value. Adding value.
adding value all the time. And so I'm best at that, right? No,
Okay.
I don't think that that can be translated through anybody else, at least not right now.
Right.
So I can get on and I can explain a topic and then have 40 appointments
Right.
generated from there.
From it.
You know what I mean? When as before, and you know this, we're out showing houses, we're doing the transaction, we're doing, going to the meetings, still generating business, still trying to feed the kids. Like, it's like all of those things. So it's just like, I had to start delegating what's going to happen with me, with the business pieces of my business, because at one point I was 10 people and I wasn't happy. And I was like, I literally felt, burnt out. Because it was just like,
Right.
how am I going to keep this up? And then the team model, that the structure that KW kind of put out there, really, it really changed me.
So in regards to that, I'm gonna say that growth, like how were you or how did you let people know, like, I'm still doing the same job, but my role is changing from, and because I get this sometimes with, like, I'm not showing how, oh, you getting Hollywood now, like,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
or
You know what? I don't really, it does happen. A lot of people, one person, it was a while ago. And, so I have my mortgage team. So I have mortgage agents that are dedicated just to my clients. Like, my mortgage agent, she doesn't do much more business outside. I'm her number one agent, right?
right,
So we typically, when we're not able to do something with someone, the reason why I needed to build that relationship with her is because a lot of buyers just get shut down. So they just get turned away. Nobody tells them what they should be doing. They're just like, nope, denied. Your credit is too low, or you don't
I
have
see you when I see you.
see what I see you. Come back when it makes sense. She and I have developed uh, a I guess a program to be able to help people know exactly what they should be doing if we can't do something at this very moment, right? So,
Okay.
but anyway, we told the person what we were able to do, and then it was just like, well, the guy got upset. He was like, "Well, I don't want to work with you anyway because I heard you don't show the houses. Who wants to work with somebody who doesn't show the houses?" I'm like, if you really just need me to open the door, I'm not making that decision. And so
Right.
that's what I explained that from the beginning. I love the house. I do go see the house once it's under contract.
Right.
So I go take a look. Sometimes I'm at the home inspection, sometimes I'm not. But I definitely do take a look before you actually purchase it, and I review the home inspection. I spend more time reviewing the home inspection than it probably would be for me to actually just go to the home inspection. That's how much time I spend on it. So you're getting the best of me because I'm able to do that in my pajamas versus me having to go out, right?
Right.
Um, so the look of a home and that feel, that's the only person that can make that decision is
It's
the person
you.
who tried it.
Right.
It can't, that can't come from me. So a lot of times, I wouldn't say a lot. That was probably one out of 100.
Right.
Um, but I'm sure people kind of feel like, well, I really wanted her to kind of, to do it, or, come and see it with me and that type of thing. But I try to be as hands-on as possible because, um, you know, it isn't an important transaction, but now you have four people working for you versus just me, and I'm just going crazy. Like, we have to understand growth. And a lot of times people don't understand that, in the suburbs, people were running teams before they, in the city, it's like a newer thing in the city for you to run teams. The suburbs, they've been doing that all the time. So
Right.
it's just those things that we have to catch up to. So that's the only thing.
I got you. And for the people that are looking to buy a house, I guess, like, what is, like, the criteria that you look for? I would say in a client first. Like, what do you look for in a client? Like, so if people want to work with you, like, all right, I'm probably a good fit.
It depends on where you are. We've been getting a lot of investors. So investing has become a good thing, especially amongst our people
Hmm.
in Philadelphia. So that's a good thing because I think that having the investors and starting out, I created a program and modules. Oh, my son created a program and modules for for investors so that we can get a lot of the preliminary work out of the way, so
Okay.
that when you're coming to me, you have more of a vision and we're figuring out all that finance and stuff like that because people kind of see it on Instagram. And it's like, all I see is the people with the Rolls Royce and they get checked up. I want that. And it's like when for them to get that, they went hard. You know what I mean?
Right.
They had to do it. And so I tell my story of how I started investing and how, you know, Malik was like one of me and Malik have been friends since high school, but Malik was
Okay.
my favorite, or one of my mentors that basically was like, yeah, you got to do this. And so he pushed for the edge. And, you know, once you did that first one, you just
You
don't.
got the bug. So
Yeah, I'm like, I just finished rental property, the flip. They're putting in the carpet steps tomorrow, and I'm
okay.
like so sad. Like, I want to know. I need another one. So,
Yeah. Well, no, I
I
know
mean,
that
so it's
feeling.
just like one of those things that you have to keep doing. So I share that with people, and I share the reality of it. So share like the crazy contractors and the, you know, dealing with LNI, or you have the contractors that great and show up, but they don't talk to each other. So, hey, you should have took that trim off the wall so that the drywall doesn't look crazy. Now we
Right.
got trim, like, you know, those types of things. I share those in the finance and in the ugly part of it, the, you know, the hard part of it, saving the money for your down payment. I'm not ever gonna just sit here and tell you one of those things like, oh yeah, you don't need any money to invest, or you can have bad credit or things like that. The program that I built out is something that is very, very comprehensive. So you can have bad credit, but we're going to work on your credit because having good credit is just going to open up so many doors that, you know, outside of even real estate investing. But then on top of that, building your business credit. So in the program, we build up business credit. We build up, you know, your personal credit, so that that personal credit. Remember when I had, when I did my first one, I maxed out my credit cards. Dumbest thing ever. Because I
Your
think, oh,
personal credit
I'll
card you
be able to
maxed
pay
out.
it out. What'd you say?
Your personal credit card you saying you maxed
Mm-hmm.
out. So
Yep.
can you touch on how you shifted from, all right, I'm gonna be an agent, now I want to start investing, like how that how that pivot worked just as far as like some
It
of the
was
fundamentals, because there's a
it
lot
was
of people
it
do
was one
want
of
to
those
be
things that was necessary. I see Michelle join, and me and her always talk about, over COVID, me and her like started investing in the stock market. So now it's like that's like a whole new world, and we're always like, if we would have known about stock investing, we might not even got into real estate. But that's a
look,
whole
now
nother.
you sound like Malik.
Right? That's a whole nother lot. But real estate investing, what made hold on. I bought the ugly house on the block. And so I am getting my bathroom done, and they're working overnight because I got to steal them from other job sites. So
Okay,
that's
okay.
but from realtor to realtor slash investor, it definitely was one of those things that, and I'm sure, I mean, I can't speak for you, but I can say that for me, it was a lot of living commission check to commission check. Now, my rental portfolio takes care of a bulk of my like core bills.
Right,
So
right.
mortgage payment, the lights, those types of things. So the commission checks, I need them, but it's because I have that business structure, I'm paying myself on salary. So I
Right.
get paid a salary or a paycheck every 2 weeks, just like I work a 9 to 5 as the owner of the company. So um, the investor part, and I pay myself the somewhere some way similar in my rental portfolio, but the investor part was needed because it's just like, hey, how do I not work as hard and be able to give up the pieces of my business that I need to grow? Because
Right.
before I would maybe do like 40 units on my own, but now we're doing like 80, and that's because I'm able to
Mm,
leverage other folks. You know what I mean? I wouldn't have been able to do that if I had to give up a piece of my business and then not have the investment income coming in. It would have hurt. And
right.
so I try to be as you know, as transparent as possible with people when I'm talking to them about investing, because a lot, like I said, on Instagram, on social media, Facebook, whatever, people are just painting this picture like, oh yeah, you know, you get a property and you're getting that $12.50 a month, but it's like, well, wait, did you pay taxes? Did you pay insurance? You
Right.
know, like,
Right.
like how do you, you know, what does that payment look like? So I try to be as transparent as possible. So that was really, the decision was a financial decision, and also,
Okay.
like I said, I felt like I was about to be burnt out. So I wasn't spending time with my kids. My daughter is 18. She's turning 19 this year, and she's going to be going to college next year. So because of that, she needed me. She needs me, right? And so if I'm at the office or running somebody to a house in West Philly at 8 o'clock at night, what do you think she's going to be doing as a teenager? And
Right.
get out of she needs her mom home, and she still gets into trouble. I don't know if you follow me on Facebook, but I share my woes there. But me being here, I can pay attention and I can see what I can, see what I can do to prevent her, because she, as a teenager and as a young person, they make mistakes. We all do,
Right.
right? So, but now I'm home, so it's like, well, wait a minute. I can kind of see like, who car you in, or that type of thing, because it's important for me. That's important to me. My mom, she raised me single parent, same thing, but she was getting her master's when I was like my daughter's age. So because of that, she wasn't home a lot. And
Right.
thank God I was just a nerdy kid, so I was able to just stay home. But my kid is not a nerd, so she needs some
She needs
monitoring.
some supervision. Right. Right. Right.
She needs some
But
supervision for sure.
but
So, but
question for you, Jazz. But in that shift of the delegation, like just from the self-employed standpoint, like how does one even get that self-employed structure to be able to invest? Like, because going from like, oh, I know a lot of people like, well, I'm self-employed, but I don't have 2 years of tax return. Like, so like, did you like just jump right in, or like, did you
yeah,
like?
I jumped right in. I did own a property that was basically somebody had it was like, I think maybe like $18,000. It had a tenant in it. It was a client, her grandmother died, and they just called me and was like, hey, and I just happened to have the money. But that, I wouldn't say, I don't
So you
really
paid cash for the first one?
right. But
Okay.
that one, I wouldn't say is like my, what's the word? Like my that wasn't my entrance into investing, because I haven't seen the house since the first time I saw it, and that was like maybe 5 years ago. You know what I mean? They just pay me
Okay.
rent. They love me. They want to die there, and that's okay. My first one I bought from Malik, and so
Okay.
like I said, talking to him, and I bought it for 17,000. It was a
Ooh,
semi shell. Was living there,
17. Like,
and
where those deals at now? We need those deals
right.
now.
But this was 3 years ago.
Right.
And he was, and you know how he is. He was like, well, Jazz, all you gotta do is take the carpet up, replace the carpet, and paint the walls. So I was like, okay. So I walk in there and I'm like, Malik, there's no sink in the bathroom. The people were washing their hands in the tub. I was like, Malik, I can't like this. And so he was like, no, you're gonna spend all this money. I'm telling you, you could get little 7 little 50 on for this, and go ahead. I'm like, I can't do that. And so it became my first project. So what I did
Okay.
was did a private lender on that one. And I put down, I think I put like 10,000 to the table.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went ahead and got the money, renovated the property, rented the property out. Now the property is worth, like I said, I bought it for 17. I put about 35 into it. Now
Okay.
it was appraised to pull some equity out. They just appraised it at 140. So
Ooh, nice.
you know what I mean? Like, but if I would have just left it the way he was telling me, it would have. So
But
now, So
I was gonna say, but that goes from just the different. Like I know Malik is all about low debt, low debt.
so that
If I could keep it
he
simple,
would have
keep it
never,
moving.
you know, I'm grateful this over this COVID season I was able to pay back that loan. So 3
That
years
lender, right?
later I was able to pay it back. But his structure and his method may make it makes sense too,
Right.
because he like it wasn't going to be a slumlord situation, but it aesthetically it didn't fit with who I am.
Right. No, I
So
understand.
and
That's the
so
thing. Is
he's more like, no, just get it in there, get it
if they
safe,
happy, keep it moving.
get
Right.
keep it moving. He was like, you're going to be able to find someone in there, put it on your Instagram. I mean, he probably is watching. Put it on your Instagram, you're going to be able to rent it. And I was like, no. And so I had a tenant in there, Section 8 tenant. She was paying $965. She got pregnant. So she got an upgraded voucher. So she
Okay.
moved. I literally had the cleaning company come clean it out because everything was brand new in there. I walked through the property on my Instagram and I've rented it in 5 hours. But it's beautiful. Like it's
Right.
really, really nice. You know what I mean?
But that was
So
the benefit of you investing that money in it.
right.
And
And then I was
now
able, the equity, like I said, I paid off that first private loan,
right.
and now I got a property that's worth,
Some money,
so
right.
I can pull out equity to buy more. I do like to buy cash though. And for some God-given reason, I've been lucky to find low cost ones. The one that I just finished was 18,000 in North
Okay.
Philly. So I like to people that are going into nursing homes. That's my that's my
Your people, right.
that's my people,
Right.
because I'm sympathetic to the family. They understand and they're just like, yeah, we don't want to give this money to the state. So I've done maybe 3 or 4 like that.
Nice. That's definitely dope. But also in that you created a construction company as well, right?
Had to, because construction people are crazy. So I went and I got my contractor's license, and hold on, I'm getting email. I got my contractor's license because you know how it is. Tell your first contract. Let me grab some juice.
Well, it depends. Like which one you want. You want the one where we got burnt for 30 grand? Or you want the one where they left their tools in the house and had somebody steal their own tools out the house?
Fun, new one.
I think I got.
So,
Do I got any more? What's my other one? The one where the contractor, me and him had a real good relationship. We was real cool. So he even came to he was at my wedding. Like we 7-8 years in, we cool. He's working on my rehab. He goes to my wedding, has to go back, finish the rehab, and just don't show up no more. I never heard from him again.
but he
Don't know
got
why.
a plate at the wedding.
He had a plate at the wedding.
He got a plate at the wedding. See, that's what I'm saying. So what I
Plus
have
a one. Plus a plus one.
plus a plus one. So what I have done is not foolproof what I've done, but it's been good. It's been decent. So I have the contractor's license. I am able to get subs to come out. I have a core team. I have a Mexican guy that is like family. And he does all of my carpentry and all of like kind of pulling my pieces together. And then I have subs for everything. And what I do is we have a lender that I work with. And what I do is I say to him, hey, you want to go ahead and do this job, electrical. I'm not going to haggle on the price. Your price is your price. But I want to get my own materials. So I use my business credit to go to Home Depot or wherever, get the materials. I want to get my own materials, and I want to pay you for your labor when it is all done. So I'm not giving you no deposit. I'm not doing nothing. Because I am just a paper contractor. So people are like, oh, you're a contractor? Yeah, I'm just a paper contractor. So I know how to do paperwork. I know how to type. I will never tell you that I know how a light works, or I have
frame that wall up, right? You just
I
know what
have
it's supposed to
tools.
look like and what goes together.
Right. I know what goes together. I can do some light demo. I'm a good cleanup. I can clean up good. But I will never tell you that I could, frame up a house because I can't, right?
Okay.
But the reason why I say that is because when you're using these hard money lenders like Crowcopia or something like that, they have people that come out to look at the progress. So I lean heavy on them because they're not going to release the money unless it's done properly.
Right.
So, okay, if this guy just say, I'm like, I tell you to start on Monday. You say that you can be done by Thursday. The inspector is coming out on Friday. If the work is done, he's going to wire me the money to my account on Friday afternoon. I
Right.
will pay you Friday. And I have this relationship, it's working. I will pay you as long as he says it's good. Now, if it's not good,
I can't pay you.
I can't pay you.
And it's not
So,
my fault because
and it's not my fault because you're the expert and I paid for my materials and I've gotten everything there that you need.
right.
So if you didn't do it or fix it or finish it, it's because of you.
Right.
And and every time it's been working, knock on wood.
Right. Nah, that's dope because that's how I got burnt for that money. So I wasn't buying my materials initially when I first started, and I just trusted the person.
You gotta buy your materials because when you set up those business accounts and your business credit, then you can go into the bid room at Home Depot. Lowe's has something similar that you can set up and get even less on your cost. And then also when you set up at like these lumber yards and electrical supplies and stuff like that, when you're set up as a business, you get contract pricing. So you even
Right.
save on the materials, but you tell them, give me a list. Now, I'm not running back to the store, but I have it set up because I need some type of automation because I still run my real estate business.
Right.
So I have credit cards on file and the paint store, everybody has that
The info, give your phone number right, and you could just
and then they
now I
can
don't gotta go. You can
same
just
thing
pick
with
up
Home
your stuff.
Depot. And I tell them it's not a whole lot of Home Depot runs. I'm thankful that my main guy that I have that relationship with, he knows how I work. He works with me. I'm able to, have that text comfortable level with him. I've never seen him, getting materials for other jobs, things like that. I do know that much. I do
Right.
determine that.
Or to buying the gloves and Gatorade for the weekend.
Right, right. Like where did this chocolate bar come from? Like definitely not that. But for sure, just making sure that you're monitoring that to a certain extent. But once you get that, if you buy your materials, then hey, it's going to be on them on labor. And it really goes both ways because the contractor has to have some sort of trust in you to
Right.
say that you're going to pay them. And I know that it does happen to them in other ways that owners and sellers or whoever
They get burnt. Right.
they do. But I think that I've built a rapport to the point that it's just like, yes, most of the time I need you to do work on my house, so I ain't really gonna burn you. I'm here with these two kids, you know what I mean? Like
Right. I need you to come
it
back.
doesn't
Right.
really it doesn't make sense. So it's a level of trust there. That's the way that I deal with the contractor. So I had to get my license because when you go to a lender, the lender will ask for the contractor's license. And a lot of times I'm able to hire, like a plumber might not have that license. I'm fully insured. I have, I take on that risk. The only sub that I require to have, or the only two subs that I require to have insurance are my HVAC sub and my electrician,
Cool.
because
Okay.
those are people that can burn my house down.
Can you tell what goes into, like, how do you get your contractor's license? Like, what do you need to kind
Well,
of.
so when I got it, so I actually got it because, and I think we talked about this. I feel like that's how we met. I can't remember. That's gonna kill me. But I got it because a lot of our clients were doing 203Ks. And so
Okay.
when our clients are doing the 203Ks, they were getting hit with like tremendous contractor bids that are like crazy, right? And so if you had an uncle or somebody that could do the work, that may not be licensed, then I would look at their credentials and be able to filter it through that company. So that's how I got it.
Okay.
Just like this gentleman said, it's an OSHA 30, and the insurance. You have to have insurance. You have to waive the insurance on your car because my car is just going from site to site. It's not going like hauling anything.
Right.
But it's not that hard at all. It's not hard at all. It's just more, you know how the city is. You have to have everything lined up
Right.
in order for you to get it. But once you do that OSHA 30, I think the OSHA 30 maybe took me a weekend to do.
Okay.
And then, you renew that, and then that's it. You have to obtain a license from the state,
Right.
like $75. So it's not a
Okay.
big.
And register with also with your city with
Yeah,
Illinois,
with
right?
the city. So I live in Montgomery County. So the city, I do have my Philadelphia license, but again, it was just providing the OSHA and the license and the insurance.
Oh, and right now, would you recommend people still getting the real estate investing, like with the COVID and everything? Would you say now is still a good time?
Now is either you're saving your money to get into it when foreclosure opens back up, because we're gonna have a bunch of foreclosures, or you're doing it now. I mean,
Okay.
I think it's still a great idea. I'm a Section 8 landlord, so I've been getting my money.
Okay.
I do have a tenant that I had to take to court, but other than that,
You went to court, or did you went to landlord tenant court or
no,
small
it
claims
didn't
court?
happen yet. In fact, I need to call my attorney. It didn't happen yet. We just filed last week, but
At
I
landlord tenant court or small claims court?
landlord tenant court.
Okay. All right.
So I don't know what he did to file. I just know that I paid him, and he took all the information. So I don't know what's going. I know I don't have a court date. He hasn't come back to me with like a court date. So is it a holdup or something like that? She basically was. It was supposed to be. She was supposed to be working like some some odd jobs like Uber and stuff like that, and just paying
Section
me.
8 though. Section
No,
8.
no, no. This one was the only private pay. That's why I'm like, I ain't messing with no private pay no more.
Okay.
But this was a private pay, and I was working with her, and she didn't she's not doing what she need to do. And
Hold on her end
then
of the
she had a
bargain.
fight with a neighbor, and they bust out the front window. So
Did you
that
put
was
the windows back in, or you letting her rock out?
we're not gonna talk about that on live.
Okay. All right. I figure I try to slide it in. Nah,
But
I got one. I got
she's
one
safe.
tenant. She said
She's
she's
safe.
safe.
She's
Okay.
safe.
I got yeah. I got one tenant now that's so I have one Section 8 tenant, and honestly, they're my only one not paying right now compared to all
The
my other
section
tenants.
8,
So Section 8.
Section 8 is paying.
So they're paying their portion. But what happened with my Section 8 tenant? She wasn't originally working. Then at some point she started working, so they switched her portion to be the larger portion. Ever since that happened, my money becoming hit or miss. Then the pandemic happened, and now we got all this tough talk.
Right.
Thing is, she like old enough to be my mom, so
Jeez.
she don't went from hitting on me, slapping my ass when I come over.
What?
Like yo,
What?
then I had to check her. Then it went from like I guess because I told her like yo, you can't be touching me. Like now I just don't. She don't answer the phone. She don't answer my property manager. She don't let nobody in, and we ain't got no rent. So I'm tight with her because you can't just.
One day I had to just talk about it. I was just like, I was on Facebook, and I was just like, I can speak for myself. I'm a small landlord. If I don't get a payment, and this is what I had to explain to her, because of course when she got the notice and all of that type of stuff, oh, why are you doing this? And I'm like, well, how do you think that the mortgage on that is being paid? And she's like, oh, well, I said, and I asked you to work with me. When she got laid off with COVID, I said, hey, can you send me, your termination? Because the mortgage company would let me do a forbearance.
Oh, you
Just
communicate.
I communicate. I'm like,
Yeah, you.
no, it's like real life with me. Like, I'm just like, look, you see these kids in this back seat when I come to the property. this is how we paying for school. This is how they live. And I'm like, basically for 6 months, you've been living, and I've been paying for you to live. I can't do that. I can't take care
Right.
of you and your 3 kids. I can't do that.
Right.
So
I'm with you. And that conversation that you had, like, so I don't have that conversation because I don't know. I guess I'm kind of, I tell people not burnt out, but I'm like, now I'm the mean landlord per se. So we'll talk, but I'm
yeah.
not going into that much. So I, like, my one tenant said, like, yo, you know, the rent is on hold. Like, we ain't got to pay. I said, you know what? If you don't pay, I'm not paying the mortgage because I'm not paying for you to live. And when they take the house, I still got a home to live in. So it's up to you.
It's up to you to do what you want. The only reason why is because, so this property is a duplex. Upstairs, I have an Airbnb. So the Airbnb,
You
when we
just keep
were
getting better and better as we get talking. Go
so,
ahead. Bring
but
that
the
Airbnb life to it.
Airbnb was doing is when before COVID, my Airbnb, as Michelle, my Airbnb was bringing in like $2,800 to $3,000 a month. So I'm like, I can't lose the property because I do so well on the Airbnb. And then she got a nerve, her kids. You should see my Airbnb comments. The property is great. We love it. Jasmine was a great host. However, the people downstairs are loud as hell and blah, blah, blah. She's like, I don't know what they're talking about. I'm like, oh my God. She gotta go. The next person that's gonna be in there is an old veteran that is like chilling, that got his
He just
TV
won't watch
down.
his TV, drink his little drink.
Yeah, the guy's little whiskey on the weekends, TV down to a murmur. Like, this is crazy. And I told her, and I was telling her, like, you literally you were costing me money then, because sometimes like somebody like, yeah, you know, really I think she left the kids here and they're just like going crazy. And you know, whatever. I think that she, you know, she left them here, and I felt like embarrassed. I'm
The
like giving money
Airbnb people
back.
be watching her kids.
I had to pay him the babysitting fee. I had to pay him the babysit. You know what I mean? So, what I did when COVID hit was get a 6-month tenant in there, and she's been paying great, but she has the same complaint about the girl. So the girl, we gotta talk offline. But
I got you.
yeah,
But so that Airbnb switch. So I'm just saying. So I'm saying salute to you because we got a top producer,
get
a
out of here.
mom, a mom, a mentor, a general contractor, and an Airbnb host.
Right.
So do you cook, Jazz?
Yeah, I do cook. Everybody thinks I don't cook,
So
but I
what
cook
can't
every
you
day.
do, Jazz? What can't you do?
I cook. I do cook. But you know what it is? It's my mom and my aunts. My mom and my aunts raised me to like, listen, I had my daughter when I was 19. So they was like, you got 2 choices. You could either be on welfare. There's nothing wrong with that. You could go that way, or you could hustle. If you're gonna hustle, we're gonna help you. We're not gonna help you lose though. So we're not gonna help you stay in this complacent place. We're gonna help you win.
Okay.
And my
That's that
mom,
tribe.
the whole tribe, like they don't even have social media, because if they was on here, they'd be like, yeah, it's been many a night she had dropped kids off and blah blah blah. But that's the tribe, that's the village that helped. And my aunts, they just told me like, you're not going to lose. So in the article, when I was, you know, in the magazine, I thanked them because it was literally on their backs of like, listen, you could just still here be complacent, have a bunch of kids, do your life that way, or you could figure out how to do life differently
And get what you want out of life.
and get what you want out of life. And that's what it is. So when they see me now and they see me doing these investments, every property, they all, it's 5 of them, my mom and my aunts, and they all walk through the property and they tell me what I did wrong and they tell me what I did right. And what can I say? What am I going to say to auntie?
Right.
I was talking on Facebook about how with Patti LaBelle and Gladys Knight. And so I'm like, I don't want to tell them. Somehow they found out. Jasmine, why you ain't tell us? I'm like, oh man. So I'm tech support the whole time, and they're like, oh, you know. And so then finally, finally, my aunt was like, you know, we old. This is what we do. And I was just like, you know what? Whatever.
You're right. And all I could do was say yes.
Yeah, it's just what do you do at this point, right? So that's really what it is. But seriously, the investing thing for any realtor that's listening tonight, you should be your biggest client. And I feel like I buy for myself multiple times a year, so I'm my biggest client. You should be your biggest client, because you don't want to be showing homes for the rest of your life. You see those old agents that's old and stuck in that
I
ways.
got 25 years
Yeah,
in.
like, won't you just quit? And they can't, because they didn't buy properties when they were our age to
Right.
be able to say, I don't have to do this. I could just chill and I could get this to my kids or whatever.
Right.
And I had to learn that. I didn't know, like, I'm not going to sit here and say, oh yeah, I was just this investor when I walked into the shelter. I'm telling everybody that now, because that's what I know to be true. I preach it to everybody. Every realtor that's in my inbox, every realtor that I talk to, that I mentor or anything, why aren't you buying a property this year?
Right. And every year you
No,
get better and better.
you every year. If you buy 10 properties in 10 years and you take a 10-year mortgage off of it and pay them off, you'll be a millionaire. Just think about how much your properties could be worth over a 10-year people, even if they're all worth $100,000. So people don't think of it like that. They're just thinking like they want to get to millionaire status right now. Most millionaires, are built over time.
Right.
And so, and like I said, me and Malik have been friends since high school. So I ain't gonna tell you how many years we've been friends. But to see him and to have a best friend that's a millionaire, that's a heck. And I know, like, we've literally broke bread together. We've been broke together. We've been, you know what I mean? All of those things is like,
right.
This dude is literally a millionaire. So that means that it's possible.
I
Right?
was gonna say, so that was the key for me, like, about, especially like you said, village and surrounding yourself with the right people. Because like I know a lot of people, like you said, like they're hustlers, not business owners. And it's like when you see them down the line, or when you see where they like, yo, I don't want that kind of grind. But then it's like when I talk to Malik, Justin,
Yeah.
and a couple other people,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, like
Justin,
there is a light at the end of the tunnel. I can get there. I just need to be disciplined, or I need to make these adjustments.
you have to make the adjustments, and you have to be disciplined, because when I first got the first rental, I was spending the money and not even, like, you know what I mean? And
Right.
I'm honest with that, right? But now it's just like, well, wait a minute. Now, outside of paying some of these core bills, I'm able to reinvest back in. I like to do the full renovation on the property because I don't want maintenance costs. So that alleviates a property manager from. A lot of people had a property manager expense because they have somebody all them calls, right? So then it's like, okay, let me eliminate that, and then I'll do a portion of it. Now my rental income goes into the stock market because I
Right.
love it. And me and we've been doing options trading, and I made a rental payment on a stock on an option trade like 2 weeks ago. I was like, sheesh. Like, I was like, okay, like this, like a
That's what we doing now, right?
this is a Philly rental payment. And so to learn, but this is the people that you're surrounding yourself with, because the stock market been around forever. But
right.
if we weren't,
but we just catching up to it.
We just catching up, and if we didn't, so that's why you'll see me talking about it, because it's a mother or a young mother out here that thinks that she can't invest. I started with investing $5 when COVID hit back in February-ish. I started investing like $5 a day because I knew I wouldn't miss it. And I put it into my Robinhood account, and then I started buying stock. And then we bought a pharmaceutical stock. And then, recently Apple and Tesla was like, the biggest thing. We started buying that. And then I started looking at what other things that I use every day. And I'm like, okay, I'm on this iPhone all day. I need to go ahead and invest in this. My son, Apple. My son, Oculus. He got Oculus for his birthday. That's Facebook all day. Okay. Like, why am I spending $400 on an Oculus and not buying the stock of Facebook? You know what I mean? So even if you're doing divisional or what is it called? What's the stocks where you can just buy a portion of it? But like if you're doing that through your Cash App and stuff like that, just to start investing those things and just getting into the motion. So you'll see me talk about it because I love the questions. People are like, oh, I don't want to bother you. You're not bothering me because somebody had to tell me, and it's
Right.
fractional, right? Fractional. So somebody had to tell me, and if I didn't listen, then I would have just been in the same place and just having my rental income go into a savings account, which wasn't making me any money.
Okay.
So now I'm leveraging the rental income into the stock market, which is making me crazy money. I told you I'm getting my bathroom done. Like, like that the stock market money that's what's getting the marble on the floors. But that's what I'm saying. Me and Michelle, we literally learned together. We was like, girl, what happened today? And I was like, I don't know. Like but that's the thing, to have that accountability. We were both like, we're not going anywhere during COVID. And we could have just stayed in the house and just, just ate and just watched TV all day. But we
Netflix, right?
every time I would learn something, I would text her. She would learn something. She would text me, girl, buy this, do that. And she's like, did you do this? Did you do that? And she's building her portfolio for her daughter. And I'm like, her daughter is younger than my kids, but her daughter is like, she's sitting on something. You know what I mean?
Right.
But that's like we gotta expose each other. We can't hold this information in. I think that as Black people, we're like, oh, we ain't gonna tell too much. We don't want it to get
I
burnt.
don't want nobody else to outshine me.
I don't want nobody else to outshine me. It's going to get burnt out. We're not going to burn out the stock market, but we can share it with others so that we can go ahead and do as much as we can in our community. Because if we become rich together, then we will not have this crazy president like we do.
Right. All right. So wait. All right. So
I know we only got
hot.
8 minutes, but
What? What'd you say? Say it again.
I said, I know we only have 8 minutes. So did you get all your questions in? Because I'm
So
sorry.
that's what I was about to say. So look, I was about to say, yo, you smoking right now, you hot, you look, you giving it to him. So I want to say once again, thank you. Definitely appreciate you.
No.
I'm definitely wishing you nothing but more success and your continued growth.
Yeah, man.
I think it's 2 questions I got left. So
okay,
just like a summary version of it. So like for anybody out there that's just trying to get through whatever their trial tribulation is, like, is there any like advice or motivation you could possibly give them to like help them get, cause like they know the vision or they have an idea, but it's just really trying to see it through.
Prayer.
There you go.
That's it.
Okay, look.
I
there
pray.
you go.
I pray. I talk to God. Prayer is part of my business plan. If you look on my calendar, prayer is on there. Prayer is there today. Is I walk around, I have my Bible in my book bag. Because that's what I believe in. I stand on that. And I know that it's been times where I haven't had any money and I've said to God that what am I going to do? And then a mysterious check come from something that I did a million years
3 months ago. Right.
or
Right.
or something like that. So I've been there. Prayer is what it is. As far as motivation, if prayer is not your thing, even though it should be, but if it's not, stay consistent. Stay consistent about what you do. Stay consistent. If I see that you do your lives and stuff like that, stay consistent with that because somebody is watching. I used to think that when I would, be posting or something like that. And then I would talk to people or see people or whatever, like, yeah, I've been following you for years and I see your emails. And I would think like the newsletters, we don't necessarily get feedback from that. And we don't know. And, people stay on, but I thought that people didn't really read them. And then like when I finally talk to people, they're like, oh yeah, I remember when you said back in August about a tip to fix my credit. I'm like, okay. You know what I mean? Somebody texted me the other day and was like, "Yeah, you got on on one of your stories said to get this credit card to build your credit, and I got it, and now I'm at 700." I'm like, really?
Look, all from some advice that you gave, right?
Yeah. So it's like, one of those things that you just have to stay consistent. If you're going through some hard times, you know, hard times won't last forever. So a prayer. That's all I got. That's all I got, because it's gotten me through so many things that I would have just never thought that I would be here.
Now, well, definitely salute to you. And then my last question is, do you have any books or podcasts that you could recommend for the people?
So I listen to Bigger Pockets. I read a lot of books. Right now I am reading,
Give me your top
what am
three.
I
Give me
reading?
your top three.
Top three. So Brandon Turner's book on real estate investing. Of course, the Red Book, real estate, millionaire real estate agent. Um, and then Miracle Morning. So Miracle Morning helps me because in the mornings I do the same 5 things every morning.
You don't
So
you know about Miracle Morning?
I love the Miracle Morning.
No,
Miracle Morning, that's my thing. So I do the same 5 things every morning. And when I tell you, that's the thing. You ever see Zuckerberg and he always has on like gray shirt and jeans? That's because he doesn't want
right.
to think of wearing every day. And he doesn't do that. And so he does the same routine. Routine is what makes millionaires. So
Mm,
I do routine every morning. I get up and pray. I get up at 5 o'clock every day.
okay.
Well, now like 4:45 ish now. And
Okay.
I get up, and depending on what the day brings, I have to run to Home Depot, but I'm at Home Depot when it opens 6 o'clock,
Got you. Get
because
that
I
out the way.
get it out the way, because I see I don't want any excuses. So I don't want to
Right.
say, oh, you didn't have the materials here or blah, blah, blah. Because remember, I'm getting my own materials.
Right.
So I got to get those materials to the site before when they walk in, they go like, oh, the only time I can't bring it in is if it's too heavy.
I got you. Yeah, what time
What
you go
time
to
do I
bed
go
then
to
if you
bed?
get up at
9:30.
5?
I'll be knocked
Yeah.
out. Like 9:30. I'm gonna go to sleep after this. I'm I'll
Nah,
be knocked
I'm with you. All
for
right.
sure.
Well, nah,
Sure. So yeah, this is a
so
great
where
thing.
can people say it again, Jazz?
This is a great thing that you're doing.
Well, look, I appreciate it. Like, I honestly started this because of COVID, and it's like I can't be with people, I can't see people,
Yeah.
and it kind of took off on its own. And now people like, yo,
When
you
are you
got to
coming
do
back?
another one. Like now I
Right.
can't stop.
Right.
So
But
yeah.
that's what good things is. So yeah, for sure. For sure.
Now, well, like I said, I definitely appreciate you giving us this time. And if anybody wants to get in contact with you, where can they find you?
My DM. I answer all my DMs.
Give me your social media one more time.
At Green Real Estate Mom, or you can text me 267-707-6487. Email me jwilliams@gremom.com. I'm rolling out the program. We got 15 people that signed up for the investment program. I didn't think anybody was going to sign up, so look for that content. But it's all different modules, and it's taking you from the baseline of learning how to invest, because I think that everybody should have some sort of investor. I don't think that everybody necessarily needs to be a business owner or a property owner, but be involved in investing in some way. So whether it be stocks or real estate or what have you.
Nice. Well, once again, I definitely appreciate you guys for tuning in. We will see you guys next week. When I tell you the lineup, we gonna keep them coming. Michelle, I'm gonna have to get you now that I see
Michelle,
you
look,
in
we
here.
gotta get Michelle on. Michelle got a story. Michelle
Look,
got
well,
a
so you
Michelle.
put the bug in her
Michelle is
ear. I'm
she
getting ready to
helps me.
reach out to her.
Michelle, people be like, oh, well, she's a real, we like, that's my girl. Like she walked me through a listing 2 weeks ago. Like she's
Okay.
the listing queen. And she's
Look,
shy.
she's
So you
sending the
gotta get
face.
her. Cause she'll be like, oh no, I'm not gonna do it. She's shy. No, get her on. She
You
not
do
gonna
it in the
show
comfort of
her
your
baby.
home. In the
She's not
comfort
gonna
of
show
your
her
home, I
beautiful
got
daughter,
you.
but she's gonna she gonna drop some gems on you for sure.
Look, well, I appreciate all of y'all. And that's the other reason why I do this, because I'm like, yo, y'all motivate me. So it's like, I forgot about Miracle Morning. So I'm going to go watch that before I
Go
go to
back to
bed.
that, man.
I YouTubed it. That's the first time I ever got a hold of it. He is amazing.
He's great. And then even after he wrote the book, he went through something else. Like
Right.
it's crazy.
Right. Well, definitely, like I said, I definitely appreciate it. Look, we're going to tune in. We're going to see y'all next week. And look, if you ever need anything from me, you know I'm here. So, once again, thank you and congrats again on all your success.
Thank you, Anthony. I appreciate it. Talk to you soon.
Have a good one.
All right.